Okay, I think that diversity is having different types of cultures and traditions in a given area.
Different stuff.
That means when people of different cultures and backgrounds come together and be diverse.
Different cultures, many people of different cultures, yeah, and ethnicity and race and everything, yeah.
Diversity is just living life and loving everybody, no matter who they are or what they do, and just not really focusing on our differences but on our similarities and loving one another. That's what diversity is.
Diversity is a collection of different ideas from different people, regardless of where they come from or what they do. It's more of about the person instead of their background.
At the top of my head, there really isn't. I don't really have a concise answer to what diversity is, because there isn't this one single essential answer to what diversity can be. It can be different types of races, different walks of life, such as ethnicities, socioeconomic backgrounds, or political backgrounds. So, if I had to say an answer, it'd be race, ethnicity, nationality, and socioeconomic backgrounds. That's where diversity really happens.
I don't think diversity is particularly any percentage or number. I think diversity is a concept, it's a mindset. It's the idea of being able to accept anyone and understanding the cultural backgrounds that everyone comes from. I think it's that understanding, that education that makes diversity. And I think that education is what leads us to actions that people would call diversity or label diversity.
Diversity is a general acceptance, or I guess a willingness to have variety and to experience different kinds of people, different kinds of cultures, different kinds of ideas overall.
I believe that diversity is a multicultural atmosphere which encompasses different types of religions, races, origins, socioeconomic statuses, but not only embodies them but appreciates them, nourishes them, and informs them about the other facets of that multicultural atmosphere.
So I believe diversity is having a variety of different perspectives in any situation. So that could be, diversity in gender, diversity in sexuality, and particularly diversity in race.
In my opinion, diversity is the kind of inclusion and the conscious effort to attempt to understand each and everyone's cultural differences and their history.
The William Jewell curriculum, while it has, at least in the classes that I'm in CTI 100, it has made strides towards diversity somewhat. The fact that the only novel, or the only book from an African perspective is a novel by a woman, you've got your two little check boxes there, compared to 3 books by white men or men of privilege, which are all presented as academic sources. That's not a good thing, and that doesn't count as diversity. And a third thing, there is a very high number of white men and white women on this campus. There's a high number of white men and white women in positions of authority on this campus. There is a high number of white men and white women in positions of authority in this town, in this area, in this state. And I read a really interesting statistic earlier today that only 33% of the people in this country are white men, and yet they hold up to 97% of positions of authority in universities across the country. So I think that until those statistics are evened out, we will always have a race problem.
So I feel like a system in which promotes a diverse curriculum and promotes a curriculum that is all inclusive of the melting pot that is the U.S. is a diverse education system. As far as the question of whether or not I feel Jewell models that I feel Jewell's attempts in the curriculum, particularly the CTI curriculum, I feel like their attempts show a understanding that diversity and what that diversity is lacking on campus. I feel that it shows an attempt of promoting diversity on campus. I just feel that the attempts haven't been particularly useful, considering that there aren't very many authors of color in any of the books. Many of the books in CTI curriculum, maybe a few. There aren't very many professors of color on campus, and words do not really speak how important that is to be able to identify with successful people who share the same identity that you do.